Yeah, we might move on, it's up to you. But I think that this is why the senator of Kisumu is employed by the people of Kisumu to sit here and go through these things. He's not employed that if it's one, then he goes for lunch and disappears. So he is employed to do this job, and we want to make the work of this committee more effective and efficient. But it's up to you, Chair, to decide.
Honorable members, our auditors, that's why I call them our partners, because they are technical support for this committee. When they say a matter is addressed and is on record, they have said a matter is addressed, unless a member raises a very substantive issue, then we can go through it and review that query. But depending on the number of queries we have, if we decide we want to go through every query, including the query that the auditor has said addressed, we may not be able to finish our work, honorable members. Number two, as a to review those queries which the auditor has said, because remember, we have two words that we use in this committee: addressed and resolved. Resolved is the committee to resolve a matter. The committee can still say the matter is not resolved. So you will still have an opportunity at the point of report writing to review all the queries, including those ones that the auditor said addressed, to indicate whether they have been resolved or not resolved. But I have no problem if a member thinks that a particular query that the auditor has said it is addressed needs to be reviewed, then we will review it, like the issue of the roads, the two roads, the hospital road. We have said, even though the auditor has indicated is addressed, we are going to look at it so that the auditors can tell us how was it addressed. Was it addressed after the certificate was issued or not? So that we need to have a balance. We need to manage our time, and we also need to serve the people of Nyamira well by ensuring that most of the queries are substantively processed by this committee.
Chair, I think you are doing so well until Eddie brought the issue of advance, and I agree with you, Chair. You know, some of these things like lack of risk, when the auditor says they are addressed, you know, these are not substantial issues. Maybe let's proceed. I'm proposing here that we proceed in numbering the queries. Where we see we have issues, then we can make it as one of the things to address. So just proceed so that we progress.
Chair,
yes.
I don't know whether you have had the opportunity to look at the conclusion of the auditor. What the auditor is saying is that applying the provisions of Article 2296, and I'm saying this in support with what Eddie Okech had said, Senator Eddie Okech. He says that I confirm that the public resources that were sent to the county of Nyamira have not been applied lawfully and in an effective way. So when this committee sits to go through a report that has such a weighty conclusion, it's good that you look at documentation, so that we look at the authenticity of the documents that are before us. Because the obligation rests on this committee and by extension, the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. So let's take our time. We don't need to conclude the audit. If you think by 1 o'clock we are tired, we'll continue from where we have stopped. But we need to be seen that we care about our public resources are applied and used in our counties. That's why I give you enough money to hold these meetings as your commission.
Yeah, then can we look at June 2021 and 22, and then from there, when we're done with that, we make a decision on this.
And Chair, for the record, yeah, I am saying...
Let's sort out the two financial years.
Chair, for the record, I'm saying this. I get it. Auditors are our partners. From what we had yesterday, if we have a qualified opinion or unqualified opinion, it's okay to say that there are queries that have been addressed, let's proceed and select. But the moment you've got an adverse opinion of an auditor, from my financial background, that basically means there is material misstatements, not issues of errors. So I am proposing that for any report for this committee that you get an adverse opinion, because an adverse opinion is conclusive to every other query that you're going to look at that particular certificate. Then, and this disclaimer is even worse, because then there is no opinion at all. But those two, Chair, I think that for the purposes of effectiveness of this committee, we should then go through each and every query, so that even if it's addressed, we just want to know the rigor in which it was addressed, so that it doesn't repeat itself. If it was a misstatement that was being corrected at the time of correction after the certificate was issued. It's just a standard operating procedure that I think that we can be able to adapt as a committee, starting with this.
Why can't we start? My directive is this. Let's handle the queries that we pick out first. And then whatever remains, when we adjourn, we can always have another opportunity to have them examine again. So I had stopped at query number 11, which the auditor had marked not addressed. So the next one was non-amortization of tangible assets. We mark it as 12. The other one is a query on presentation and disclosure of financial statement. Mark it as 13. There is a query on staff ethnic composition. This one we have a standard interim recommendation we give on how to achieve the ethnic composition. Then there was a query on lack of independency of the municipality. We mark it as 14. Then there was the delayed completion of upgrading of public offices, works offices, query number 15. The other one, delayed completion of upgrading of Barabu, Gondani Heights Resort, query number 16. So, honorable members, those ones are the main ones which we can address. If time does not allow, the remaining queries we can have another date, including the ones indicated addressed. So let's start with the year ended June 2021. There was a query on failure to prepare a statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts. Auditor, read out the query.
Thank you, Chair. Failure to prepare a statement of comparison of budgets and actual amounts. The management did not prepare and submit a budget for 2020-2021, contrary to Section 149(2)(h) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires the accounting officer to prepare estimates of expenditure of the entity in conformity with strategic plan. Further, the financial statements did not include a statement of comparison of budgets and actual amounts, contrary to the guidelines and template prescribed by the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board for public sector entities reporting under IPSAS Accrual Financial Reporting Framework. In the circumstance, the management was in breach of the law. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, your management response?
Thank you, Chair. The management wishes to clarify that Nyamira municipality prepares a budget as per section 149(2)H of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. Further, the issues raised on preparation of statements of comparison of budget and actual amounts have since been resolved in subsequent years.
Then there is an annex there.
Yes, Annex 1, approved budget financial year 2020-21. Number 2, experts of financial statements and statements of comparison of budget and actual amounts 2022-2023.
That response.
They were able to prepare the same, Chair.
What I'm missing is one of 2022. What has been annexed?
Yes,
They never did for 2021.
for 2021, yes.
Chair, something to note, the municipal had just been formed, so some of these compliance issues had not been grasped properly.
So when was the municipal gazetted?
In 2019.
2019.
– 2021.
Honorable members, your input. Senator Kisang.
What do you expect me to say? Because if they didn't prepare the budget for 2020-21, it means it was not done. And the governor has said they cassetted 2019 and 2020 they are operationalized, and maybe they assumed that the budget from the executive will still continue. These are the same things that we are seeing. So if there is nothing that was done, Chair, then you know which recommendations to give for
Senator Agenda.
Governor, Chair, Governor, at the time you were the deputy governor, is that correct? I presume.
Correct.
You had not taken over the reins of power.
Correct.
No, be sure. You took reins of power on 29th of December 2020. So you are in office.
I took reins of power the last day of 2020. The last day.
31st.
Yes, somewhere there.
No. Okay.
I have no records here today.
I mean, you spend this money from January 2020, 30th of June 2021. So you are in office.
I just want to find out, Chair, maybe the governor can admit, was it out of lack of knowledge or the incompetence of your officers that this report was not done? Because there must be an explanation so that we can see, Chair, because this is an admission on the part of the county that there was inaction or non-compliance with the law. And I think the remedy of the recommendation is quite on point. If you break the law, it's an obvious sanction. I think that is very, I don't think you have an option. It's not voidable.
Yeah.
This incompetence.
Maybe when was the manager of the municipality appointed?
Manager, you don't know when you were appointed?
You appointed your manager.
Thank you, Chair. I was appointed on the 19th of April, 2023.
The first one, not the second one.
The first
when
one
was Mogusu appointed? If you don't know, can help you as your senator. Do you know these things? Governor, the first manager was Mogusu. When was Mogusu appointed?
Around 2019.
Which date, to be exact?
I don't have the date.
You see, that Mogusu was the manager.
Yes.
Because section 149(2) of the PFM gives that accounting officer the obligation to make the budget. The Auditor General made a presentation on this matter about counties which did not submit financial statements, either because they were gazetted and not operationalized, those which did not submit financial statement at all. And that report, we have it. I don't know whether the clerk can be able to fish out that report presented to us yesterday by the auditors and their filing of financial statements. Then we. But yes.
Chair, I beg to indulge.
Yes.
Every time the responsibility of the manager is to take over from where the other manager has left. So, has he inquired any incompetence of the previous manager? Give advisory to the governor. Because now he's the fund manager, he's there to, he takes in the office he took over, because he has sole responsibility to take over duties of that office. What action did the new manager take?
Thank you, Chair. I want to admit that as at now we have taken up those inefficiencies, and as at the time of 2020-2021, I mean the municipalities, and there were issues in terms of staff with the municipalities, and they were hiring staff, and at that time, the municipality didn't have a substantive accountant for the municipality. However, since that time, we appreciate the works of the governor that he has given budget for hiring and staff for management of the municipality, and now we are moving forward with the compliance, and we are complying with the issues that are raised to ensure that we are in tandem with.
Can the manager, through the governor, tell us of the organogram of their institution? There was no manager. No accountant in charge.
Senator Miraj, just to guide you, let us restrict ourselves to the query, because if we take that direction, we will not cover these 16 queries that we have before us. We will not cover the 16 queries. The issue here is that there were no budgets prepared for that year, which is against the PFM.
But Chair, what I'm asking is who was in charge at that time? And when he came into office, what did he report to the governor about the discrepancies he met at the office? That cannot be out of order.
No, I'm just saying, because you're asking for organogram, and organogram, I think it starts with the manager, who in this case, according to the law, is the accounting officer. So let us restrict our engagement to the manager, who is the accounting officer. Manager, can you respond to that matter? The simple fact is that you came into office, you have gone through the files, you know when the man was in office and when he left. And what did you do to address this particular query? The query came before you became the manager. But what did you do to address this query through the governor?
Chair, I was trying to write on her. Yeah. Chair, I think that the point is, this guy, the manager was appointed in 2023. But there must have been someone, you must have taken over something. We need to punish someone. We are finding that person. Who is that person? Who was there before you? Or we punish you?
Honorable members.
Someone must go down.
Chair.
You direct your questions through the governor. So through the governor, please respond to the members.
Chair, as I had said before, this is the time the municipality was informative, and the people who were working there, most of them were seconded from the mainstream government. And the training people to know the compliance issues usually takes time because it was like a section of the main government until it was forced to operate on its own.
Was budgeting within the executive then?
Yes.
So that we know who takes responsibility?
Yes.
Then why didn't you provide the statements that are lacking? Because the county executive was in place, the municipality was not in place. Why didn't you comply with the law if they were domiciled under the executive?
No money was lost.
Chairman, that's not the query. That's not the query. The query is that you do not comply with the law. Those are two different things.
That's why I said, Chair, the municipality was informative. Informing a municipality is a process, and it takes time.
Chair, I go on record.
Yeah, go on record.
And then I'll ask a question. My name is Ledamo Lekena, Senator Narrow County, Minority Whip, and a member of this committee. Chair, with the permission, if I can just address the Governor. Governor, I heard you saying that the management of the municipality was with the executive. And that's the reason why there was no budget prepared. Now, the question that I want to ask, and maybe the auditors can also be able to assist here so that we can make progress, is whether the expenditures, when you look at the financial statements of the Nyamira County, in the notes of the financial statement, was it clear that these expenditures relates to the municipality, so that we can be able to move forward on that? Now, that's number one. Number two also, Governor, if you can clarify whether there was any money which was transferred from the executive to the municipality. Was there an account which was held by the municipality, whereby the law would require the municipality to prepare the budget, and then that budget is either funded by the executive or with the collection that the municipality collects?
I will ask my minister to answer that.
Thank you, Chair. The municipality at that time had a budget, although it was domiciled in the mother department, which is the Department of Lands. But the manager had the authority to execute that budget exclusively as it relates to municipality. It did not require to seek authorization from the mother department in terms of budget execution.
Fair enough. Auditor, then now the matter is on your side. Did you audit, when you did the executive audit, the CCM in charge of lands has just responded and said that the budget for the municipality was domiciled. It was part of their line item. So if it was part of their line item, the person who was the accounting officer was the CEO of lands, because it's the CEO of lands now who is the accounting officer. But what the CCM has said is that the CEO is the one who would authorize the payment from it. But he cannot authorize because he's not the accounting officer of lands. So were you able to audit that? Can you look at the financial statements? Can you look at your audit and say this was clarified or that was not within the scope? Or did you audit that as just an expenditure of the lands department and not the municipality? Those are things that you may need to look at. If you don't have the answer now, you may want to go back and look at your financial statements so that we clear that issue. Chair, what I can confirm now is that the expenditure and receipts, the payment and receipts, which were audited under the municipality, were purely for the municipality and had nothing to do with the executive, because our teams audited.
You're not listening. You're not answering. Chairman, with your permission, you're not answering the question. The CCM has said that the municipality had a budget, but that budget was domiciled at the Department of Lands budget, whatever. So the Department of Land was the ones who are the accounting officers. So my question to you is this: when you did your audit, when you looked at the financial statements, was it clear that this money, these expenses, are for the municipality and not for the Department of Lands, or it was not? And you may not have the answer now. You may want to go and look at it. Don't give an answer that which is half-baked, because the information that he just gave is quite loaded. Because the governor had said it was still in the formative stages. His minister said there was a budget, but it was domiciled at the Department of Lands. So you need to be able to demystify that.
I think based on that, honorable members, this municipality, I just wanted to give a correction for the record, was actually gazetted as per the report given to us yesterday by the Auditor General. Was actually gazetted on 24th September 2018. 2018. And that first year, 2019, 2020, there were no financial statements. The financial statements started coming in 2020, 2021 financial year. And the auditor, in his presentation, he has also confirmed that some counties in the initial stage, their accounts were intermingled with the executive accounts. So, riding on Senator Olekina's proposal, that the auditor will give you time to go and confirm whether this particular budget appeared in the executive financial statements. You confirm and write back to the committee. You tell us how many days you need. 7 days?
Yes, Chair.
7 or 14 days?
Give us 14 days, Chair.
14 days. You confirm from the executive accounts whether this budget was provided or not, and the comparison was given. If it is confirmed, then the committee will deal with this, will decide whether to resolve or not. But if it is not provided, Governor, this would be violation of the PFM. That particular accounting officer will be liable for violating the PFM Act. So I think on the basis of that, honorable members, let's proceed to the next query. which appears in the year ended June 2022. And the first query is unsupported use of goods and services. Unsupported use of goods and services. Auditor, read out your query.
Thank you, Chair. Unsupported use of goods and services. The statement of financial performance, and as disclosed in Note 7 to the financial statements, reflects use of goods and services amount of 24,487,894, sorry. However, the following unsatisfactory matters were noted. 1.1, unsupported catering services costs. The balance of 24,487,984 includes catering services amount of 2,582,400 shillings, out of which 1,590,500 was spent on catering services and conference facilities rendered to the municipality staff. However, some staff did not fill the attendance registers required for evidence of actual participation, and back-to-office reports were also not provided for audit. In the circumstance, propriety, accuracy, and completeness of the reported catering services amount of 1,590,500 shillings could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
That query has two parts, so Governor, you can give the response for the first part.
Through the Chair.
Which is on catering services.
Thank you, Chair. Management would want to note that we concur with the auditor's observation. However, the payment vouchers and attendance registers have been provided as annexed under 1.1. Roman 1 is the payment vouchers, and Roman 2 are the attendance registers. Thank you, Chair.
Chair.
Yes. Before you come in, let the auditor give his comments on that response.
Chair, these annexures were not given to us, so that's why we considered the issue not addressed.
Chair. Governor, yesterday we had the Auditor General here, and the first question that we asked the Auditor General was to tell us about the relationship between the auditors and the clients. And the responses the auditor gave were quite telling. I want to go with you through these documents. And Governor, please get a copy of this. I believe this is for the financial year 2021-2022, correct? Yeah. So if it's 2021-2022, the auditor has raised a query here, and they said that there was a balance of 1.590, which was not confirmed. Documents were not provided for audit. In your management response, you've indicated that the payment vouchers and attendant register are attached. I believe it is Appendix 1.1, correct? So let's open Appendix 1.1. When I look at the Appendix 1.1, it doesn't really it just payment for the above being catering services. I'm not seeing a date indicated there. But what is of interest to me is page 3. So, Governor, let's go to page 3. So you've got page 1, you've got page 2, which I cannot tell. And then now, even in page 2, there's a date there written, 14th January, I think 2021. Okay. Where? No, I can see 2021 in mine. Huh? No, look at this. 14th January 2021. All right? But then the stamp is for 15th June 2021. Now let's go to the attendance list. Because this is where we we are able to separate fact from fiction. The Auditor General yesterday said that sometimes you provide documents, and if you keenly look at those documents, they are just a forgery. Governor, and not the minister here, tell me, daily attendance, 14th December 2020. Does 14th December 2020 relates to a financial year 2021-2022? Governor, niambie hiyo kama hiyo ni kweli.
Waziri through the chair.
Governor, no. Governor, please. I want you to respond to this for me. Because I had requested that you and I go through these forms together. You know, so because I want to demonstrate to you what is happening. That the auditors are not just there, you know, for the sake of being there. You are either being let down by your staff who are creating this forgery, and there are penalties for this, Governor. Because you cannot submit documentation for 2020 and you put them here and bring them to the Senate. The next one is for 2020. The next one is for 2020, 2020, daily attendance 2020, 2020, 2020. Everything is for 2020, Governor. And remember, we had prior questions where we are asking for financial statements for the previous financial years. Chairman, can you see what I'm looking at? You know, so can you help me, Governor, understand this? This is where you need to be keen on what you are being asked to come and present to this committee. Because we are very thorough. We take our time to go through the documentation. Please tell me, Your Excellency.
Can you tell me why it's 2020, 2021, these accounts in 2020, 2020? How come we are anxious? There must be an error somewhere.
While on it, Governor, while on those annexures, you want to tell us that you sent people from the county to attend a conference in Kisumu for a total of 16 days, from 3rd of December all through to 16th of December, according to your annexures. 16 consecutive days away from the office at Pinnacle Hotel, Kisumu. You have seen the register?
Yes, I'm seeing the register.
So you want to tell us that you had sent staff to attend training for 16 days staying at Pinnacle Hotel, Kisumu, for a whole 16 days?
I think the manager can answer through this.
Yes, number 2, from the documentations you forwarded to us, what was the conference? I'm just referring to the document Senator Olekina has referred to. What was that conference? What was it?
Manager, through the chair.
What was the conference? Can you tell us what conference was that for 16 days in Kisumu, Pinnacle Hotel? Saturday to Saturday? 2 weeks.
The manager, you need to respond because we need to manage our time.
Thank you, Chair. I think I have to, you give me time, I have to look at the document again, the back office report. So I have to look at the back office.
Are you the manager?
Yes, Honorable Senator.
So you're the manager, you're the one who's prepared these documents to bring the governor to come here, and then you're asking us to give you time to go through documentations. Mr. Chairman, this is a forgery.
please give us direction on this, because it does not make sense. You cannot present documentation.
Your Excellency, do you remember that the same period, that's when we lost the governor for Nyamira? Governor?
I think we lost him in 20, December 20th.
Do you know the date?
20th December. 20th December 2020.
No, the governor Nyaribo died on 18th of December 2020. Just to bring you to speed. And on that same day, we were in Nairobi with the CEC, Sonchiri. If you can come here and carry the Bible, and you're giving us documents indicating that he was in a conference in Kisumu on the same date that Governor Nyaribo passed on, 18th of December. And if you remember, on the 16th, we were with the CS Matiang'i Interior discussing the industrial park. You have again given us documents indicating that the people we were with in Nairobi on 16th of December were at Pinnacle Hotel attending a conference. So who is lying?
Chair.
Yeah, there is a serious fraud here. Serious fraud.
Yes, Senator Miraj.
Chair, can the auditors kindly tell us who has signed the financial reports?
And who was the accounting officer during that period? The mastermind of this fraud. Was it CEC or Chief of Lands, or it was the manager of the municipality? Because this is a serious forgery. These people you have given names here.
It was manager municipality.
Who is the person who assigned is called, is it Leonida Mose? Who is Leonida Mose?
And is that person an ISPAC member? And what is his or her ISPAC number?
Members, please address your question through the chair, so that the chair directs them.
Chair, you know,
to the auditor. Chair, auditor, please respond to those issues.
Before the auditor also responds, Chair.
Yes.
Chair, I'm thinking, you know, at this rate, I'm also thinking, I wanted to raise earlier, but when we had the adverse, the 2022-23, but I said let's proceed. Do you think, Chair, it might be wise maybe for the members to have a small conversation first, and then we make a decision on this, because it looks like these are very serious matters. I don't know.
I concur.
I concur too.
Just on record, can we even have one statement from Governor telling us what conference was this? Yeah?
Get him back. Get him back.
Yeah. And any...
We need to check from the office, because I was not in attendance of this.
So did you come with all documents to answer to the queries, Governor? You even don't know the conference that was happening for 16 days, 16 consecutive days at Pinnacle Hotel, Kisumu.
Okay, members, I think Senator Kisang has raised an issue. There are some matters which traditionally, as a committee, we need to address internally. And this one is one of it, so that we know the directions we are going to take. So I'll request that Governor and your team, you give us about 5 minutes to consult, and then we'll call you in. 5 minutes.